pick our moments. We're looking for pound short.
Yep, definitely.
Right, yeah, thank you very much for that. Right, Lloyd, currency strength analysis. Are you tending to agree with Alexis? Do you think the pound at the moment is a bit weak? What's your analysis on the currency strength?
I think it's going to be a difficult week for trading. Simply because I think the technical is sort of disagreeing with fundamentals. Now, I'm not saying that I'm right, but it is really kind of tough for the moment. Now, the first thing of all, we would like to look at the Kiwi. The New Zealand index. You can see that price essentially has already made a double bottom and it's really bouncing off the $60 level. Now, what we can see from here is that in the past it did break and then it came back up. I'm on a weekly time frame, by the way, so it came back within a month or two. So for the Kiwi currency index, suspect that price, I mean, overall this is a downtrend, no doubt. But so price might be actually retracing back to a level before it continues its downtrend for a time being. So we may be able to make some money off this move. Now, a lot of the other index are actually showing pretty similar move. You can see that they're all bouncing off of pretty good levels. For whatever reason, I'm not too sure yet, but anyway, that's not what I'm really keen to know. So again, the Euro index price, you can see that, again, similar double bottom. And in fact, just the past 2 weeks, it has shown some conviction that it might want to actually break down. So this week, I think some news came up. Price might actually be trying to retrace back up to a horizontal level before finding itself some footing. Now, one of the clearest signal of all is actually yen, but at the same time, I do recognize that yen is very fundamentally induced at the moment. So you can see that price is actually bouncing on the $70. Don't think we have seen this level in the past. Yeah, so we are really in no man's land at the moment. Now, as always, when there's a gap, my first suspicion from the past till now is that price will actually attempt to close a gap. And moreover, now we have two gaps going on. Yeah. So price might be trying its best to actually close the gap before going on its dominant direction. Yeah. So for all the long opportunity that we have this week, it might be just confined to this week and next week. That's all it is. Yeah. Because the dominant direction, we don't see any sort of really clear-cut consolidation followed by a break to the upside or any kind of really strong reversal movement. Yeah. So we are all, just to be clear, we are all still in the downtrend for the above three currencies that I have talked about. It's just that technically on a level, they might be bouncing off. And you can see that pound display very, very similar movement to Euro and Kiwi. Broad picture, we can see a double bottom and then with a very, very strong reversal price actions. Against big, we can still clearly see that it's on a downtrend. So it might be due for just a short-term retracement before continue on this dominant direction. So this is where the lower time frame traders might have some opportunities to make money. Now the Aussie, I've actually placed it in the middle. It's really in no man's land. Again, double bottom. You can see that price. Now this time I'm going to choose my words. Slowly moving downwards. I mean, at a quick glance, you can see that it's downtrend. It's moving downwards, but I can't really classify it as a very, very strong downtrend. Yeah, so I'd rather not trade the Aussie index at the moment. Now Swiss. Now this is an interesting picture. You can see that price again double bottom, higher low, again another double bottom. So it might be really making its best attempt to actually retrace back up. Now, if I zoom out all the way, what happened with Swiss is that you can see that it actually rests very comfortably between $110 and $100 because we can spikes all over the place, but majority of the time price is within this level. Now, I'm not really inclined to trade Swiss at the moment. If you can clearly draw a range boundary and price is right in the middle, personally, I think that's one of the worst place to trade. Unless it's really at the extreme, then it will be in a good place to trade. So I'd rather leave Swiss out of my trading opportunity for the next 2 weeks. Now, CAD is interesting. Downtrend. Fluctuate for quite a fair bit of time. Finally broke in the past. It did broke a bit. Came back up, second attempt. So what I suspect is that price might actually retrace back to this horizontal level. You can see that it's being tested several times in the past. And then continue its dominant movement downwards. That's what I hope to see. Again, I'm using the word hope because I'm also hoping that Canadian dollar will drop so that my electrical bills will drop. I don't know how that reflects, but technically this is what I'm looking at. And the last on my list will be the dollar index. So again, this will be a much more of an opportunistic movement. You can see that price, really, really strong upward movement, no doubt, no challenge. And then we can see that it imprints a really nice bearish high test bar, since that price might actually be rejecting off this movement, of this level, come back down a bit before resuming. So to be very clear, my message for this week is, for the lower time frame traders, if you want to make money on some short-term retracement, we do have the opportunities. Otherwise, wait for price to resume its dominant movements. Yeah. So if you can't play retracements entry, wait for the proper setup for a trend entry. Yeah. So that will be my message this week. Over to you, Paul.